survey and sample survey. That's the last topic we covered, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Next is about, there are 3 ways to collect the primary data. The data collection, the name of the chapter itself is collection of data, and 2 methods to collect the data. One is primary data, and the 2 types of data are there. One is primary data and other is secondary data. Then primary data, you remember what is primary data? Aparna?
Ma'am, when we collect the data by an investigation or inquiry,
Yes.
it is known as primary data.
It's a first-hand data collected by the enumerator is a primary data. And how we are collecting the primary data? Using what? Karthik?
Ma'am, questionnaire.
Yes, very good. Using a questionnaire, we are collecting the primary data. And we discussed what are the important features of a questionnaire. Okay. So, there are 3 basic ways we can collect the primary data. 3 ways we can collect the primary data. One is personal interview, other is mailing questionnaire, and the other is telephonic interview. So, there are 3 ways or 3 methods of primary data collection. Clear? There are 3 methods of primary data collection. One is, there are 3 methods of primary data collection: personal interview, mailing questionnaire, and telephonic interview. Then what do you mean by personal interview? It is possible. Yes, it is possible when the researcher has access to all the members from whom he can collect the data. Okay, it's a method in which the researcher has the access to collect the data from all the members. Suppose when you are doing a project, and if you are able to go and do it near to your house, it's a primary data. You are directly going to their home and collecting the data. Okay, if the researcher has the access to all the members from whom data is collected, is coming under the personal interview, and it is a face-to-face interview. Suppose I am collecting the data from Pavitra. It's a face-to-face interview because I will be in your house, and with a questionnaire I will ask the questions, and you know that the television interviews and all with the celebrities and all, it's a direct interview. It's a personal interview. You watched that? You never watched such an interview with the Mohanlal, Mammootty, or any other film actors? And in some channels also, some programs are there. Nere Chuve. It's a program, it's a direct interview. That is, the enumerator is collecting the data directly from a person. It's a different type of interview, but it's a personal interview. JB Junction, it's a program is there. By John Britas. It's also a method of personal interview. That is, we are directly meeting the person and collecting the data. Such type of interviews are called as personal interview. Okay. So the method, what do you mean by personal interview? The method is used when the researcher has access to all the members from whom data is collected. If the researcher have an accessibility from all the members whom the data is collected, it is called as primary personal interview. Then, what are the advantage of personal interview? Okay, before that, you write the advantage and disadvantage. Okay, I will not tell. Second one is mailing questionnaire. What do you mean by mailing questionnaire? The questionnaire is sent to the respondent and information is collected from him through a post. Example, an SMS, or through a mailing, through postal service, or by an email. If you are sending the questionnaire to them, and in return they are giving me the answers, it is through another method, that is mailing questionnaire. First method, we can collect the data personally. Okay. Second one is by sending the questionnaire. By mailing the questionnaire, after filling the answers, they can send it back. That is the second method. And the last method is telephonic interview. That is, the investigator asks the questions over the phone and collect the information. Okay. By using the phone, we are calling a person, and if we are collecting the data, it is called as telephonic interview. So 3 ways we can collect the primary data. One is personal interview, other is mailing questionnaire, and the other is telephonic interview. Clear? The 3 methods we can collect the data is personal interview, then mailing questionnaire, and telephonic interview. Then personal interview means if the researcher have an access to all the members from whom the data is collected. If it is possible for collect the face-to-face interview with a respondent. If it is possible to conduct a face-to-face interview with a respondent, it is called as personal interview. And mailing questionnaire means in the method, the question is sent to the respondent. And after completing the answer, they will send it back. It may be either through an email or through a post or even the mobile SMS and all. Sometimes in our mobile also, such type of messages will be there. And the last one is telephonic interview. That means through telephone, the investigator asks a question over the telephone, and in return, they will tell the answer, and the informant, they will mark it. Okay. These are the 3 methods which we can collect the primary data. Clear? Any doubt how to collect the primary data? Anybody? No. Okay. Then each method, the 3 methods have its own advantage and its own disadvantages. Pavitra, can you say the advantage? Okay, I will give you 2 minutes to write what is the advantage of personal interview. Not to Pavitra, to all. I will call any one of you. Okay. You think and write what may be the advantage of conducting a personal interview. If you are conducting a personal interview, what may be its advantage? We studied a lot of advantages and disadvantages of conducting a survey, isn't it? So just think what may be the advantage. If we are primarily collecting a personal interview is there, what may be the advantage? Any 2 advantage and any 2 disadvantage. Any 2 advantage you can write. What do you think whether if we are conducting a personal interview, write any 2 advantage and any 2 disadvantage. Okay. All of you finished? Pavitra, can you say anyone? Advantage?
High response rate.
Yes, very good, very good. High response is there. If it is a personal interview, if I am directly asking a question to you, the response will be high. Yes. Then, Atul, can you say anyone more advantage?
Really get complete information. It cannot be
Monet, any problem with the audio?
I don't know.
Some vibration is there. I can't hear properly. Text it, message it, use the chat box, okay? Then, Aparna, can you say any one advantage?
Ma'am, the result which we get would be very accurate.
Yes, okay. Good. That means there is a personal contact between the enumerator and the respondent, the person who's interviewing. So there is an, you wrote? No. There is a direct contact between the person, so the response will be more. Then, what about Atul? Okay. Sharath, can you say any one point?
Ma'am, we can ask all kinds of questions.
Yes, yes, yes. We can, if we want to know in detail, it is possible. If it is a mailing, if we are in other two method, it is not so possible. But if it's a direct interview, yes, correct point. We can expand the question. Sometimes if we need more clarity, we can ask and make it clear. So if more clarity means it helps us to reduce the misinterpretation. Sometimes the enumerator will misinterpret, but if it is a personal interview, there is a less chance for misinterpretation of data. Okay, there is a less chance for misinterpretation of data. So what are the advantages of, so you know what are the advantages of personal interview? All these are the points. First one is there is a personal contact between the respondent and the enumerator. If we assign other persons to take the interview, the answer we get may not be better to the overage. Yes, Adul, it will lead to misinterpretation. So if we are using, there is no manipulation, correct answer. That is also an advantage of personal interview. Okay, that means it will help us to avoid misinterpretation. Then it helps us to expand the answers. Then a response will be very high and there is a direct personal contact between the respondent and the enumerator. And any other point, any additional point you want to add? Anybody?
Ma'am, we can also note down the feelings and expressions.
Yes, very good, very good. We can note down the feelings. The nice point, Aishwarya. From their face, reactions we can know and we can watch it. From that also we can arrive at the conclusion. Sometimes it is not possible in any other type of methods. If we are using a telephonic interview or a mailing questionnaire, it is not possible. So the direct expressions we can identify from their faces. Okay, very good. So these are the merits, then it have its own demerits. Can you say any one or two disadvantages? We are conducting a personal interview. What are the disadvantages? Or what is its demerits? It has some demerits. That also. Tom, can you say any one disadvantage?
Ma'am, it is expensive.
Yes, it is very expensive. Because for conducting a direct interview, it is very expensive. Then, any other?
Ma'am, it takes more time.
Time. That are the two major drawbacks of this personal interview. One is it is very expensive and the time constraint. It need more time because if we are going to each and every person's house and meeting them and collecting the data, it will take more time also. Then any other point, Annette?
It is not easy to collect, to go to every house.
That is, it is expensive. Then any other?
No.
Okay, any other point, anybody? No problem. Any additional points?
The respondent must not feel comfortable to share his or her thoughts.
Yes, that is a disadvantage because there is a chance to influence the respondent because we are directly, we are personally communicating with them. So there is a chance to influence the respondent. They are not at all, they are not feeling good when we are directly asking some questions to them. Then any other? Then also it is not possible to do when the area is vast. If we are conducting a survey in a large area, it is not possible to conduct a personal interview because it is difficult to go and meet each person and collecting the data. So its disadvantages include it is very expensive, and also one more point is we need a trained interviewer. Okay, if we are conducting an interview, we need a personal interview. Especially for conducting a personal interview, we need a trained interviewer. Otherwise it will become a flow. So that is also a difficulty. It is not possible to get a trained interviewer. So what are its disadvantages? One is it is very expensive. Then it required trained interviewers. Then it take longer time to complete. Then if the area is vast, it is not possible to conduct personal interview. Then there is a more chance to influence the informant. Okay, clear? What is personal interview? What is its advantage and disadvantage? Any doubt? Anybody? So we can go to next topic. Next is another one is telephonic interview. Femina, what do you mean by telephonic interview?
I'm calling and asking
Ah.
questions
Ask the question
by
through
call.
telephone and collecting the data. Okay. Can you say any one advantage of using a telephonic interview? Think and say, because so simple. If you are conducting a survey and if you are calling a person and collecting the data, what is the advantage? First advantage.
Ma'am, it takes less time.
Yes, yes, that's one of the most important advantage. It will take only a short period of time. We no need to spend too much time. So short period of time. Then any other point? The demerit of personal interview may be a merit of telephonic
Man,
interview.
cheaper. It's cheaper.
It is cheaper, less expensive. It is less expensive. It need only a short period of time. Then Aishwarya.
Faster response.
Okay, then there is a less chance to influence the respondent. That's why I called you. In the personal interview, there is a chance to influence the respondent, but here is a less chance to influence the respondent. It's a telephonic interview, so there is a less chance to influence the respondent. Then any other? It also help to clarify the doubts because it's a telephonic interview. So it helps us to clarify the doubts. If any doubt is there, we can ask and clarify to the person directly. Clear? So what are the advantage of telephonic interview? Telephonic interview means the investigator asks the questions over the telephone and collect the information. Then it is relatively less expensive. Then it can be done within a short period of time. Then it allows the researcher to clarify the doubts, and also there is a less chance to influence the respondent. Okay. Then what may be its demerits? Demerits. You are responding nicely. Hanna, can you say a demerit?
Within a limited time, we can't ask so many questions.
Mola, once again.
Within a limited time, we can't ask so many questions.
Yes. Sometimes that even though time limit will affect it. Okay, then. Okay, it will take, if the question is too long, it will take a long time to ask the question. So it is a difficulty. Yes, then.
Ma'am, not everyone has a telephone.
Yes, if the people, it is possible, then everybody have a telephone connectivity, isn't it? It cannot be possible to conduct in an area where there is no telephone connectivity. If a house, they have no telephone connectivity, it is not possible to conduct it. So the respondent should need a telephone facility. If the telephone facility is not there, this method cannot be used. Yes, Karthik, then the reactions we cannot see. In a personal interview, we can directly see the reactions in the face of the person, but here we cannot see their reactions. That is also a limitation. Okay. So telephonic interview, its advantage and disadvantage. Its merits are, it is relatively less expensive. It can be conducted within a short period of time. And also there is a chance for doubt clearance. And also, what is the last point we discussed?
Reaction.
There is a less chance to influence the enumerator. And its disadvantage include the purple need a telephone. It is not possible to conduct if the respondent should not have a telephone facility. Then the enumerator cannot watch the reactions. Okay. Then one more method is there, that is mailing questionnaire. Mailing questionnaire. What do you mean by mailing questionnaire? Hadi?
Yeah,
Yes, what do you mean by Adi Mone and turn on your video.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mailing questionnaire.
Ma'am, that means we'll mail a question.
Ah,
We'll send it through email.
yes. Send it to the not only through email, okay? Through a
Okay.
post, either to a post or through an email or through an SMS. We are sending a question and collecting the data from him through the post. It is called as mailing questionnaire. Okay. So in this method, the questionnaire is sent to the respondent and information is collected from him through post. We are collecting the data through post. It is called as mailing questionnaire. Then can you say any one advantage, Hadi?
Ma'am, it's more economical.
Yes, it is more economical. It is less expensive. Then
It takes less time.
okay. Time. Then it can be used in remote areas. Okay. It can be used in remote areas. That means if there is lack of accessibility, for if there is no telephonic facility, or if it is too difficult to go there and conduct the interview, we can use this mailing questionnaire. Either we can send it through a post or an email or SMS, we can collect the data. Then the enumerator can know, but there is no way to influence the respondent. We cannot influence them because we don't know. And there is no direct contact between the enumerator and the respondent. Then it always keep an anonymity of the respondent. It is not compulsory to write their name and all the things. So it will help the respondent to keep his anonymity. Then what may be its disadvantage? If you are getting a questionnaire through mail, you will answer it and send it back. Tom is smiling. Is Tom, you will do like that?
Most of the time, no.
Most of the times, no. That is a major disadvantage because the people will not do it properly. Sometimes they will not answer and sometimes they will not send it back. That is a disadvantage. Then any other? And also, it is not possible to conduct among the people who are illiterate. If they don't know how to read and write, this method cannot be possible to follow. So we need the literate people. This type of survey can be conducted only among the literate people. If the people are illiterate, we cannot conduct the survey. Then reactions cannot be watched. We don't know their reactions. Maybe they are sometimes writing whatever they like. Like you are sometimes giving any feedback and all. Simply we are writing and giving. Like that they will also do. Okay. So these are the merits and demerits of the three methods. Which are the three ways we can collect the primary data? Through three methods: personal interview, mailing questionnaire, and through telephonic interview. Okay. Then it's three methods, its merits and demerits. Any doubt? Anybody? Anybody? No? So can I go to next topic? Grishma, can you brief it? What do you mean by
Yes,
personal
ma'am.
interview?
The method in which the researcher has access to all the members
Okay, one
and
advantage
can
or
ask the
one
questions.
disadvantage.
We can get more detailed answers.
Okay.
It's very expensive method.
Yes. Then Irfan. 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 Amal. No, Amal Kesha ji.
Yes, ma'am.
Ah, yes. Okay, Amal. What do you mean by telephonic interview?
They ask questions through telephone.
Ah. Ask the questions over the telephone and collect the information. Then what do you mean by mailing questionnaire?
They send information through mails.
Yes. Okay, is it clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Then there are two methods to collecting the sampling. That is random sampling and non-random sampling. Okay, just to know the two methods to collecting data. One is random sampling and the other is non-random sampling, because we discussed about the census and sample. Then that time I told you how we will take the sample, that we will discuss later. So how we will take the sample? There are two methods for two main types of samplings are there. One is random sampling and the other is non-random sampling. Random sampling means where every individual unit of the population get an equal chance to be selected. Okay. Every individual unit will get an equal chance to be elected. Example, lottery. You know lottery? Lottery ticket. Lakhs, maybe thousands of people will take the lottery and each of them have an equal chance to be win the lottery, isn't it? Each and every item, each and every individual unit have an equal chance to be selected. We call it as random sampling. So two types of samples are there, random sampling and non-random sampling. In random sampling, all the items, all the individual unit will get an equal chance to be selected. Suppose we are conducting a lottery is the best example. Or I need 2 students from your class to be selected as a in the formation of an economic club. I need 2 students from your class. 2 ways I can select you. One, I can purposefully select 2 of you, isn't it? I decided these 2 students are needed for the club, so I can select you. Another method is I will write all of your names, and in your class Christmas friend, how you are selecting your Christmas friend? Aishwarya, how you are selecting your Christmas friend?
Take it by lots.
It's through a lot, isn't it? Like that, if I am for a club also, if I need only 2 students, I can write all of your 17 of your names and a lot method. Any one of you can take, and from that 2 names you can take and we can select them. That is a random sampling. That means all the individual unit have an equal chance to be elected. But non-random sampling means it according to the convenience of the enumerator. Suppose I decided I need Annette and Grishma for the club. I already decided I need 2 of you for the club. So I am selecting you, isn't it? As per my convenience, I am selecting. That is non-random sampling. Clear? What is the difference between random sampling? Means each and every individual unit will get an equal chance to be selected by taking a load. Or non-random sampling means it is according to the convenience of the enumerator. We are purposefully selecting the people or the sample. It is coming under non-random sampling. So sampling may be 2 types, random sampling and non-random sampling. Okay, in the census and survey sample method, we are collecting the sample based on that 2 methods, random sampling and Non-random sampling. Random sampling means? Atul, what do you mean by Amal? What do you mean by random sampling?
And through your
Random.
select
Random, you think about lottery. Then
by writing all their names.
All the population will get an equal chance. Okay. All the individual units in the population will get an equal chance to be selected. That is random sampling. All the individual units in the population will get an equal chance to be selected. That is random sampling. And what do you mean by random sampling, Aparna?
Ma'am, according to the convenience of the enumerator.
As per the convenience of the enumerator, if you are selecting the sampling, it is called as non-random sampling. Okay, clear? So hope you understood. See you in the next class and next chapter. This chapter over. The 4 chapters are so simple chapters. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.